That was a romp. Now, you can sit up there. I mean, we going to talk about Luka and all the stuff. What we not going to do is gloss over that ass whipping that the Oklahoma City Thunder, the reigning, defending NBA champions, placed on the Los Angeles Lakers. Charles Barkley has never looked this good. He has never looked this good. Weeks ago, he got on all of us, sitting up there talking about the Lakers. He said, oh, my God, the Lakers win. I hope they don't win, because if they win, we're going to have these fools on television talking about they contenders. I'm still not going to sit up there and summarily dismiss them. It is one game, but the Oklahoma City Thunder showed up last night and said, there's levels to this. We are sick and tired of the damn noise. Let's pump the brakes and understand. There's a difference between who the hell we are and who the hell they are. The Lakers were down at the half by 30.
The way Luka Doncic is being treated right now does not feel normal, and that is the main point. It does not feel like simple media talk. It does not feel like normal MVP debate. It does not feel like people just having a basketball opinion. It feels bigger than that. It feels like Luka is doing everything a player is supposed to do, and somehow the respect still is not there. He puts up huge numbers, carries a major team, wins games, and keeps producing at a level that should have everybody talking about him as the clear top guy. But instead of getting full praise, he keeps getting pushed to the side, and more people are starting to notice it. What makes it look even worse is the timing of everything. Every time Luka has one of those huge games, every time he reminds people that he is one of the best players on the planet, something strange seems to happen right after. Either the talk changes, or the rankings change, or a new excuse suddenly appears. That is what makes fans so frustrated. It is not just one bad take here and there, it is a pattern. A player can only prove himself so many times before people have to stop pretending they do not see what is right in front of them. Luka is not just playing great basketball. He is carrying a superstar load and doing it under a level of pressure that would crush a lot of players. The MVP part of this story is where the disrespect becomes hard to ignore. When a player is leading the offense, putting up huge numbers, making every big play, and keeping his team near the top, that player should be right at the front of the race. That is how it always works, or at least that is how we are told it works. But with Luka, it feels like the rules keep changing. One year, people say winning matters most. Another year, they say defense matters most. Then they say usage is too high. Then they say his style is hard to watch. Then they say he complains too much. The standard keeps moving, and it only seems to move when Luka is the one getting close to the top. That is why so many fans feel like the league and the media are trying to cool him off. Because when you compare how other stars are talked about to how Luka is talked about, the difference stands out. Other players get called leaders when they dominate the ball. Luka gets called selfish. Other players get praised for being killers in big moments. Luka gets called too emotional. Other players get grace when their team has injuries around them. Luka gets told he should do more. Other stars can have flaws, but those flaws are explained away. When Luka has flaws, those flaws become the whole story. That is where people start feeling like this is not only about basketball. And then there's the strange silence around just how much he means to his own team. When Luka is rolling, the whole team looks different. The pace changes, the energy changes, the confidence changes. He creates shots for everybody, pulls defenders out of position, controls the game, and makes life easier for every player around him. That is what real value looks like. But the strange thing is that some people still act like he is not the main reason things work. That is where this starts to feel almost planned. Because there are moments when you watch the games and the answer is obvious, but then you hear the talk after, and it sounds like people are describing a different player. The LeBron angle makes this even more interesting. Luka being on that team changes the whole picture. For years, everything has been built around LeBron James. Every story, every camera, every big debate,
Their ass is whipped. I mean, it was a stomp, okay? And it was almost so that it's a good thing that Luka actually got hurt and had to get taken out in the third quarter, because when we saw him holding his hamstring in the first half, a lot of us were like, Wait a minute now. That wasn't happening when you were dropping 30 plus the last 12, 13, 15 games. But suddenly now your damn hamstring is hurt. We were looking at it with a raised eyebrow because an ass kicking will do that to you. It will make you humble. It will make you run for cover. It will make you want to run to the locker room. It will make you pretend you got to use the bathroom. It will make...
That has been the center of the league for a very long time. But once Luka steps into that space and starts looking like the best player in that building, things get uncomfortable for a lot of people. Because now the old story does not fit as cleanly anymore. Now you cannot just keep repeating that this is still fully LeBron's stage if another player is clearly taking over huge parts of the show. That is why some fans believe the pushback against Luka is not random. Because if the league fully accepts Luka as the main man on that team, then a lot of old talking points start falling apart. The image changes, the future changes, the power changes, the story changes. And maybe that is what some people do not want. Maybe some people are fine praising Luka as long as he stays just under that top level, just under that top shelf, just under that final step where he becomes the face of everything. But the problem for them is Luka keeps playing like a guy who belongs on that step, whether they like it or not. Then you get to the old heads, and this is where the talk gets even louder. A lot of former players and media names keep hitting Luka with the same tired lines. They say he is too ball heavy. They say he does not defend enough. They say his game is not winning basketball. They say he stops the flow. But what makes that so hard to take seriously is that many of these same people praised other stars for doing the exact same things. When another star takes over the game, it is called control. When Luka does it, it is called a problem. That is the double standard fans are reacting to. And let's be honest, a big part of this has to do with what Luka looks like and where he comes from. A lot of people do not want to say that part out loud, but it hangs over the whole thing. The league loves stars, but it loves certain kinds of stars more than others. It loves stories that fit a certain picture. It loves faces that match what people already expect. Luka does not move like the usual American superstar. He is not built from the usual story. He does not talk in the polished style some people are used to. He just plays. He creates. He talks back. He gets mad. He smiles. He kills teams. He feels real. And sometimes that makes people uncomfortable. That is why the Larry Bird connection hits people so hard. Larry Bird has always stood as a symbol of a player who had to force people to accept greatness even when it did not fit what they wanted to see. Bird was not the flashy image some wanted. He was not built like the perfect poster star. He just destroyed teams with skill, mind, touch, and confidence. And when people bring his name into the Luka talk, what they are really saying is simple. They are saying the disrespect is not about talent. It is about how the talent is being received. It is about how some people are slower to accept greatness when it comes in a form they did not expect. Now, whether every single claim in the media storm is fair or not, the feeling around Luka is clear. People feel like he has to be twice as great to get the same love other stars get with less work. That is a hard truth for the league because fans can see it. Fans watch the games. Fans see the numbers. Fans see the control Luka has over games. Fans see how defenders panic around him. Fans see the kind of passes he makes, the kind of shots he creates, and the kind of load he carries. So when the outside talk tries to lower that reality, it only makes fans push back. The technical foul situation is another reason people feel like something is off. When a player is already walking a thin line with the refs, every whistle feels bigger. Every little moment feels more dangerous. And with Luka, people feel like that line is extra thin. They feel like he gets watched in a different way. They feel like one small reaction from him gets treated like a major issue. That is why the talk around that 16th technical became so heated. Fans were not only reacting to one call, they were reacting to a long buildup of frustration. They were reacting to the idea that when it comes to Luka, the league is always a little too ready to make an example out of him. That kind of thing matters because rhythm matters, momentum matters, timing matters. When a player is building something late in the season, one suspension, one weird call, one bad whistle can shape the whole picture.
So when people saw that moment happen in the middle of a big push, of course they were going to ask questions. Of course they were going to feel like it looked strange. And when the player on the other end is already fighting an uphill battle in the media, that kind of moment lands even harder. It starts to feel like every piece is working against him at the same time. What also hurts Luka is that his style is easy to misunderstand if you already want to doubt him. He does not always play fast. He does not run around all wild. He controls pace. He slows things down. He reads you. He gets you leaning the wrong way. He plays almost like a guy in full command of time. That kind of game is beautiful if you love basketball, but if you want to attack it, you can call it slow, heavy, or boring. That is the easy trick some people use. They take his control and call it a weakness. They take his patience and call it a flaw. But the truth is, that style is exactly why he is so hard to stop. Luka also has another thing working against him, and that is emotion. He shows it. He is not one of those players who hides every feeling. He talks to refs, he reacts to calls, he shows anger, he shows joy. He looks invested in every moment. Some fans love that because it feels honest. Some media people use it against him because it gives them material. Instead of focusing on what he just did to the defense, they focus on the face he made after a whistle. Instead of talking about the read he made or the pass he threw, they talk about body language. That is how the real basketball gets pushed to the side. And the truth is, a lot of legends did the same thing. A lot of stars complained. A lot of stars talked to refs. A lot of stars showed frustration. But with Luka, that trait gets pushed to the front like it defines him. That is not fair, and fans know it. When a player is one of the best in the world, the main story should be his impact on winning. It should be his skill. It should be what happens when the ball is in his hands. But too often with Luka, the talk becomes something else. It becomes a personality trial. It becomes a style trial. It becomes a popularity test. And that is when it stops feeling honest. Another reason this is becoming such a huge topic is because Luka is not fading. A lot of people may have hoped that the talk would wear him down, or that the pressure would mess with him, or that the constant criticism would slow him, but the opposite keeps happening. The more doubt comes his way, the more locked in he looks. The more people question him, the more monstrous the numbers become. That is what makes this so dangerous for the people pushing back against him. Every time they try to shrink him, he answers with another huge game, another big moment, another reminder that the game bends when he has control of it. That is why the idea of Luka winning big at this stage scares some people. Because if he wins the MVP, if he goes deep, if he wins a title while playing at this level, then all the talk falls apart. Then the excuses sound silly. Then the rankings look foolish. Then the people who pushed him down have to answer for it. It is one thing to doubt a player before he gets there. It is another thing when he gets there and leaves your old takes sitting out in the open. That is what may be coming, and I think a lot of people can feel it. The global side of this matters too. Luka is not just a star in one city or one country. He is a world star. Fans from all over connect with him because he plays a game that feels pure. He does not need to fit every old idea of what a modern superstar should be. He just needs the ball and a chance to read the floor. The NBA should be lifting that up. The league should be proud of a player like that becoming even bigger. But when fans feel like he is being held down instead, it creates a bad look. It creates the feeling that image still matters more than what actually happens on the court. That is why this whole thing feels bigger than one season.
This is about what kind of league people believe they are watching. Are fans watching a league where the best play speaks loudest? Or are they watching a league where stories are managed, where stars are protected, and where certain players have to fight through extra walls just to get full credit? That is the deeper question under all of this. Luka has become the center of that question because he is good enough now to expose the problem. You cannot hide greatness forever, but you can make the path rougher, and that is what many fans think is happening. The strange part is that all of this may end up helping Luka in the long run. Some players break when the heat rises. Some players get tired of fighting every battle, but Luka seems to feed on it. He looks like the kind of player who takes every slight, every ranking, every bad take, and stores it away. He looks like the kind of player who gets more dangerous when people try to deny him. That should worry the rest of the league, because if this really is a push to cool him off, it may be doing the exact opposite. It may be turning him into something even sharper. When people compare that feeling to the killer mindset of past greats, I understand why. The best players often